Hey guys, so today I'm going to review the multiple choice answers to the unity and behavior and the ecology multiple choice questions. So starting off with unity and diversity, number 62, it says what subgroups make up a class. The correct answer should be A, orders. Remember you have kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. King Philip came over for green spaghetti, right? And so which one makes up the classes? It's going to be the O, or the orders here. Number 2, what do amoebas and protozoans use to excrete waste? Well, these pretty simple organisms, they're going to actually excrete waste through their cell membrane, like several organisms do, things like bacteria as well. Number 3, through which structure do developing mammal embryos receive nourishment from their mother? Remember, that's going to be the placenta, where the placenta will help them with nutrition, excretion, and transport. Number 4, what is the primary role of vascular tissue in plants? Vascular tissue in plants, meaning things like xylem and phloem. Xylem is going to be moving water. It's going to move water up the plant, and phloem is going to be taking glucose from the leaves down to the roots. And so the best answer choice there for number 4 is going to be C. Number 5, which process creates the most genetic differences? And your correct answer there is C, sexual reproduction. What you should notice is that answer choices A, B, and D are all examples of asexual reproduction. So if you're trying to do a process of elimination, you should be able to figure out that these 3 answer choices can't be right because they're all referring to the same thing. And so the only oddball out is sexual reproduction. But also remember that sexual reproduction is things like meiosis, where we get crossing over and a lot of genetic diversity. The next one, number 6, when a duckling hatches, it follows the first thing it sees move, which is usually its mother. What is this an example of? Remember, that's going to be that's going to be C, imprinting. It's imprinting on the first thing it sees, and it'll actually follow mom in a straight line. There were a couple of studies done where a male actually watched these geese hatch, and they followed him around as well. Then the last one, which of the following is an instinct? Remember, an instinct is different from a learned behavior. It's an innate behavior, or a behavior in which an organism is born with the ability to do. And so the best thing here is going to be D, a spider spinning a web to catch its food. Okay, so moving on to the ecology multiple choice questions, starting with number 1. If elements are to be recycled in nature, which organisms must be present? And the correct answer should be A, decomposers. Decomposers will break those dead and decaying organisms down and then allow those nutrients to re-enter the environment. Number 2 and 3 are looking at the food web shown. So number 2 says which organisms are primary consumers. So those are going to be consumers. If you were to turn that into an energy pyramid, those would be the organisms that are right above the producers, and we're going to represent that by C1. Secondary consumers is up there, and you have tertiary consumers and so forth. So the primary consumers are going to be grasshoppers. Bacteria could also be a primary consumer. Which organisms would have the highest concentration of mercury? Remember, we talked about things like biomagnification and bioaccumulation. So biomagnification, which is when you're going to find the highest concentration of organisms, the higher up you move in this energy pyramid. So for this question, look at which organism is the highest in the food web, and you should figure out that the correct answer is B, snakes. Number 4, which action by humans has had the most positive ecological impact on the environment? This one's pretty straightforward, and the best answer here is D, reforestation, so replanting trees and overcropping as a way to prevent soil erosion. Number 5, in the carbon cycle, carbon is transferred from animals to plants by which of the following? Well, remember that animals, like you, breathe in oxygen, and you breathe out carbon dioxide. Well, remember, one of the key components of photosynthesis is carbon dioxide, light, there should be a plus sign, and water. So that carbon dioxide that is in photosynthesis is coming from animals. So the correct answer here is A. Number 6, which environmental concern is most associated with burning of fossil fuels? The correct answer should be A, global warming. Global warming is caused by an increase in greenhouse gases, which is trapping that heat in Earth's atmosphere so it can't escape, causing the temperature of Earth to actually start rising. And then the last one, number 7, 2 different populations of squirrels live in the same forest and eat the same seeds, which most likely describes the relationship between these 2 populations. It's not a symbiosis here, and so if you can figure that out, that eliminates A, B, and C. So the correct answer is D. If 2 different populations of organisms are living in the same area and they eat the same thing, then they're going to start competing for that food source and for that area to actually live and survive. And so the best answer choice here is D, and it's not a symbiosis relationship here. All right, so now you have all of your answers to the last 2 practice multiple choice questions. You should have all of your individual steps filled out. And then today, make sure that you are finishing up your review packet, the final exam jam, and the this or that review. And make sure that you turn it in to the sub by the end of class tomorrow so that I can check it off that you did it, hand it back to you Monday. We'll do a practice EOC, and then Tuesday we will review our practice EOC and we will review our review packet, and you guys will be ready to take your EOC. So I will see you all on Monday. Have a good weekend.